So many things I want to talk about today, but let's start with this one. I was reflecting on starting over in your 40s. Maybe you are doing something scary or something that you wanted to do, you've been wanting to do for a while, and you're finally taking that leap. Building your business, leaving your stable career so your side gig becomes your full-time job, moving abroad, starting a YouTube channel. If you are finally taking that leap, whatever that is, however that looks for you, and you're carrying with you the feeling of you're behind, you wasted time, you need to catch up, you need to go faster to make it work, or what? Because those are stories I certainly have been carrying up until this point. And there's a beautiful paradox and contradiction that I realize about myself, and how, if I look at the past and in hindsight, I can connect the dots that I feel applies to so many of us purpose driven, ambitious, capable women out here. Chances are you have a rebel soul. You are a rebel at your core. You really don't like to fit into one box, to follow what other people tell you to do. You want to carve your own path. Yet, somehow, maybe it was upbringing, maybe it was societal expectations, parental expectations that you just internalized. But somehow, all of your life, if you look back, you can see how you have been following the rules. You have been falling into those patterns where you just silence your inner rebel, your inner voice, your passion, your fire, your spark, to follow and choose the thing that makes sense, the things that's logical, the thing that 99.9% of the people will tell you it's the smart choice. And I get it. I've been doing that for most of my life. I've done that most of my life. If I look back over and over and over. And what are some ways we do that? You look at people who are further along the path, further ahead than you, which is already the wrong place to look at things, because everyone is on their own path. We are on different timelines, we're on different paths. So we can't compare the length, the speed. It's different for everyone. But when you start from that place, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna look at what worked for them and apply it to my own situation. And for me, yes, it worked. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But what always happened is that it came a breaking point, where I either burned out, where I either I started hardly resisting the very thing I was doing, or the way I was doing it, or I started hating the process. And just because, why? Because I started abandoning myself. The more I followed what other people were saying, it worked, this is how you do it, the more I was going against the way I'm built. That started as early as choosing my degree at university. I chose what made sense. Was I passionate about it? It was architecture and interior design. Not really. If I gauge that against how passionate about what I'm doing now, which is supporting women and getting the life they want, there's that wasn't passion. That was, it makes sense. This would probably get me a stable career, something that might have been true 20, 25 years ago. Right now, it's the scenario, the landscape we're in is so different. So, probably in hindsight, I would have chosen something different. Probably I wouldn't. probably I wouldn't even have chosen to go through university at all. I would have just started just exploring. Because if you're like me, you weren't born with a clear, oh, like, you know, those stories of parents that tell, oh, she knew when she was 4 years old, talking about their kids, she already was saying she wanted to become a dancer, an actress, an astronaut, whatever that is. I didn't have that. So for me, I knew it would take some experimentation, and I'm okay with that. Also because if you're a rebel, don't like to fit into one box, you're not built for the one path that or career that already exists. You're gonna have to find your own, and not just find, scratch that, not find, create your own, because it doesn't exist. Because chances are you want to be paid and you want to contribute and you want to help people, support people, and make a contribution. And the only way you can was just showing up, sharing from your wisdom, from your lived experience, from the things you've learned the hard way. That's what I'm here for. That's where I'm at. That's what I realized. And that's so great. But because we carry that feeling, I'm behind, I need to catch up on all of this, I need to follow what worked for that person. Let me tell you, I finally realized that every time I choose to follow what worked for someone else, I'm it becomes the expensive choice for me. I know because now I had proof, I collected proof up until this point that I can confidently say that if I follow what worked for someone else in the hope that it will give me a shortcut, in the hope that I will catch up so I don't feel behind, I'm paying a higher price with my energy, my body, how I feel, with my time, with money, because back then, I kept investing in coaches and mentors and trainings and certifications, even if I had enough, even if I knew enough, even if I could already start. But I never gave myself permission to start with what I had, because what I had, what I knew, where I was coming from, it wasn't enough. It was never enough. When you feel never enough, you never know enough, you never have enough, you never have, you haven't collected enough proof to teach and share and support people with the very thing you're passionate about, you're always chasing because you're always constantly feeling behind. And I can tell you about my internal experience right now. Even just talking about that, I feel out of breath. I feel like a pit in my stomach. I feel like, oh my God, I need to take a longer, deeper inhale and let that go. My body, as I started talking about that, and just it went back into the experience of how it feels to be there. And sometimes I still slip back into that pattern. It takes a while to completely rewire and reshape your internal and external experience and how you operate and how you lead and how you choose and how you live. It takes a while, but even just talking about that place, my body, if I felt contracted in my chest, I started to feel tight. My breath got more constricted. And what I want is to feel expansive in life and how I talk and how I take up space. I want to take up space because I've spent a lot of time not doing it because I was scared, because I was afraid of being seen, of asking not just for support or for help, even if something wasn't clear. I would hold back my question, whether it was in a training, in class, during high school, in a conversation with, out there with people. I will hold my question back to avoid sounding stupid or like I didn't know, and I will just head down, go and research and learn and do it by yourself. I had this, which on one side it's helpful because you are resourceful. You have an attitude of, I can do it. I can train myself to do it. I can learn how to do it. I can catch up. I can learn. But you're isolated. You live in isolation. And we learn so much from exchanging. And for me, that was a little leap, a little yet big leap to start asking and get over the fear of sounding stupid, of being misunderstood, of being judged for not knowing, for asking the wrong question. And that's just a little example. But I was not taking up space, never raising my hand, never doing anything but get myself in the position where I was under scrutiny or under the spotlight. Anything to avoid it. And look where I am. I just started a YouTube channel and my business is online. So I needed to get over that fear, and I need to keep working about letting myself be seen and take up space as I am, not as someone else. I am done following what other people are doing. I'm done trying to squeeze and fit myself into a box, smoothing the rough edges and trying to show up as perfectly put together as I possibly can. That is so exhausting. That is something I quit. That was the contract I said yes to many, many years ago without even realizing. And right now, I'm like, I quit. I'm out. I'm done with that. This is how I'm showing up, how I will keep operating, how I will keep shaping my decisions, my future from this moment. So, starting over in your 40s might feel overwhelming, intimidating, frustrating, all the things all at once. But please never forget, one, how far you come, and two, all the wisdom, the experience you carry just by the fact that you're here, just by the fact that you have been experimenting and trying different things. You've been doing things, not just trying, you've been doing things. You've achieved a lot. Please give yourself credit for how far you've come, how much you've achieved so far. The most people I meet, especially women I meet and I talk with who feel like they're behind, they're the most accomplished people I know. People I meet that have this fear of not being smart enough, capable enough, resourceful enough, are the most intelligent, curious, which to me is a sign of intelligence, capable, resourceful people I know. So if you're asking yourself those questions, do I know enough? Am I enough? Do I have enough? Have I gathered enough to share and teach and start talking about this and start supporting people with this, or take the leap or change career? Am I behind? It's very likely that the answer is that's BS. You've come a long way. You've done a lot. You achieved a lot. If you have been carrying that feeling of being behind or needing to catch up, speed things up, and giving yourself no space to get it wrong, like those are impossible standards that will make the process even more costly on every level, emotionally, mentally, financially, energetically, because you're going to pour so much into wanting to get it right that it's going to feel impossible and it's going to feel so heavy. Give yourself grace to have the space to get it wrong, because that's actually how you find what is right for you, what feels right for you, what's the path forward, the next step, the next leap forward for you specifically, just for you. Another thing that helped me when you're feeling behind, the urge is to compare. Actually, you feel behind because you keep comparing yourself to other people. But just remember, your path is yours alone. Unique in every way. Your past is unique. Your experiences are unique. The baggage, the good wisdom and the lessons and all the things that are worthy of being carried forward is yours alone. All of that, yours, unique. You get to shape what's ahead in your own, I was going to say perfect way, but let's, in your own way, let's cancel that word because it's too layered. In your own way. Perfect is you already, how you show up. You're enough. I hope this video found you at the moment you most needed to hear this. And also know that it's not just a mindset thing to shift your perspective from I'm behind, I need to catch up. And you get that shortness of breath because you're like go, go, go mode. It's also benefiting your nervous system. It's also benefiting your body, your energy levels, and how you show up, not just in the business, career, in your work, in your job, in what you're building that brings you joy and freedom and fulfillment, but also in your personal, more personal life and aspects of your life, because that serenity, that peace, that lightness, that permission to play and to get it wrong that you give yourself in one area, in finding your voice, finding your expression, finding your purpose, finding your passion, building your thing, ripples into everything else that is part of your life, everyone else, every other relationship, connection, opportunity, everything else. It literally reshapes your life. So it's never just the nervous system. It's never just how you make decisions. It's never just about mindset. Everything is connected. So when you change or first become aware of how you're operating. Second, if it's out of alignment, if something is off, if it's not, it doesn't feel like you're thriving, you're merely surviving, it's time to make a change. And making the change completely reshapes your entire life. It's never just about one thing. That's kind of beautiful. Every little change, every little leap, every little thing you start doing, like with the example I shared earlier about asking. A little leap would be I started asking inside teaching containers, teaching environments. I started asking. And then I started asking whenever I didn't feel clear, whenever I did feel behind and I need a recap or a summary or something, or whenever something I didn't know about it, I was just curious. From teaching environments where I felt more safe, and then into more societal conversations out there with friends, friends of friends, people I didn't know, and with complete strangers I was talking to, it just rippled into my relationships, my personal relationship, my romantic relationship with my partner, with my parents, with my family, with my loved ones, with everyone. So you start reshaping who you are and how your life feels from the inside out. I think that's how you can shift from little tiny leaps, how you shift from feeling like, okay, my life is fine, it's good, you built a good life, but how can we go to great? How can we flip? Not flip, how can we upgrade? Okay, now I know how to function. I function, you're high functioning, for sure. How can we be functioning and build an even greater, softer, richer, abundant, freer, more joyful, more easeful, more peaceful life, and feel even more vibrant and alive and expressed and full and fulfilled in my own body, in my own work. How can we make this even better? How can we go from merely functioning and everything looks fine but kind of flat too after a while, to feeling excited again, to feeling, oh, now I'm thriving. And I feel that whenever you get to the point, there always needs to be a little bit of tension, because excitement brings fear. And if you're thriving, you're constantly growing. And if you're constantly growing, you're constantly saying, I'm willing to face what's scary, what feels scary right now, that at the next leap won't feel as scary anymore. You've got to be willing to face that fear. Subconscious, conscious, maybe you're already aware of it, maybe you're not, but you've got to be willing. And that's how you keep thriving. And it's that tension of excitement and fear. It's scary, but I want to do it. It's scary, but I'm going to do it. That keeps you alive. And I feel I want to end on that note, aliveness. What makes you feel alive? Sometimes it's also what scares you and excites you at the same time. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you don't know, if you're new here, my name is Marina. I make videos every day to remind you that the life you desire is just one scary leap and a few reps of repetition and practice away. Yeah. And I hope you take it. If you feel the calling to take the next leap, I hope you take it. If you haven't subscribed, click the button below, like this video. If you are about to take a leap, what's your leap? Let me know in the comments. If you want support, there are resources and the link for you. And I will see you tomorrow.